10 weird things about America for British people. Excited to get into this and see what we got. Before we do, appreciate if you guys can hit that subscribe button. And let's get straight into this.
10 weird things I found as a Scottish guy in America for the first time. Number one, medical advertisements or adverts.
Oh, adverts.
I'm not sure which one it is that you say, adverts or advertisements. Anyway, I was in America and watching TV at night when I was in my hotel room and was bombarded literally every 15 minutes by these really scary medical advertisements.
What, are they actually scary?
Now, if you guys watch my channel for a long time and you've followed me across social media and all the stuff that I talk about, you'll know I suffer from medical anxiety. I don't like medical talk. I don't like thinking about health problems. It really freaks me out, and I'm being serious.
Oh, right. So if he does have medical anxiety, then I can see why that would be scary. But is it really that often? Like, how often do you guys see a medical advert? Is it loads? Because obviously, being in the UK, you never see any. Literally, I don't think I've ever seen one.
Serious about this. It's not something that's like willy-nilly. I generally don't like it. So when I was bombarded in America on television about all the scary and dangerous things that could happen to me, and then the treatments that you have to solve those problems, let me just say, it piqued my anxiety quite a lot.
Oh, wait, is that what they do? So, like, they will, like, tell you about this drug, and they'll be, like, tell you, like, oh, would it be like, do you suffer with these symptoms? You could have where you die tomorrow. Is it like that? It's probably not that extreme.
And there aren't that many countries in the world that have these medical advertisements on TV all the time, like you guys.
You guys don't say adverts. You guys say commercials, right? You call all adverts commercials, right? I think so.
All the time on your TV because you don't have a public health system, really. And there's really only a couple of countries where that is the case, and another one is New Zealand. There might be others around the world as well, but in the mainstay, like in UK, you don't really see medical adverts on TV. Not really. So I was quite surprised. I thought that was a bit weird when I saw all the medical advertisements. Why can't I say that word? When I saw all the medical adverts on TV, it really freaked me out over there. You know, they covered all different types of illnesses all the time, every 15 minutes, like I said. You get to know your thoughts on that? About your medical adverts on TV? I just thought it was different.
As a British person, that would be trippy to see, because we're just used to our silly, stupid commercials, bro. Look at me saying commercials instead of adverts. You guys are literally turning me into an American man.
Video, by the way, is not really meant to be a criticism of anything. It's just meant to be a bit of fun,
it's
a bit of lightheartedness, and a bit of sharing experiences with you guys. So like I said, you guys have probably come to the UK at some point on holiday or Scotland, and you would have noticed other things you found weird as well, and I want to know those things. So let me know in the comments. Number 2. The weird denominations of your coins. This is something I've never understood. When I went to America, you know, I've been 3, 4, 5, you know, maybe half a dozen times now. And every single time I always had problem with counting coins because you've got all these different types that are weird and different.
What do you mean?
Some of them are minuscule. You've got other much bigger ones, obviously the dollar, and then it goes way down. You've got like the quarter. The quarter kind of makes a bit of sense. It's a quarter of a dollar, right? But still, we don't have 25. That lingo here. When we're talking money, we don't have that type of money.
Dollar.
Wait. Ours are probably more confusing. Like, I know America has a cent and a quarter and a dollar. I don't know the in-betweens if you do. But in the UK, we have 1p, 2p, 5p, 10p, 20p, 50p, pound, £2, then 5, 10, 20, 50, 100.
Bills, y'all.
And so when we're talking about quarters and stuff, it really kind of throws me off. Definitely trying to understand. And then you've got like nickels. I don't even know what a nickel is. Is it a 10 or a 5? But certainly all the different coins that you guys have in America really threw me off a little bit some of the times. And
yo, you should be used to that. No, we have loads in the UK. We have so many different coins.
I made a mistake counting change a few times. A bit embarrassing. Bad memory. Number 3, something I personally love. Your enormous food portions. We went to a lot of different places around the States. The East Coast up to New York, Washington, down to Florida, Texas.
More for the money.
And wherever I went, we seemed to get really huge, enormous food portions. And I absolutely loved it. Especially when we went to a place where the food was just so good, we didn't want to run out. We wanted to keep going, right?
Yeah.
We went to a barbecue joint in Florida. It was kind of like a country home cooking place. It wasn't necessarily a barbecue place. And had this food.
Yo, a lot of the times in the UK, like not too often, because I'm kind of like a snacky person. I don't really, you know, I don't go crazy for big meals. I like different varieties. I like mixing. You know what I mean? So for me, normally it's not a bad thing, but there has been situations, bro, where I've ate my food and I'm like, I'm still hungry. So I mean, I would have that in America, bro.
Food, and it was just enormous and so good, and I don't want to end it. But then when we got to the end, I was absolutely stuffed. The portions were ginormous, like big. Nothing I'd seen before anywhere else in the world. And it's something I really like. I'm not gonna lie, it helped me put on the pounds. That's part of a travel experience when you go to a new place, right?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, the sounds of how good your food is when I go to America, oh man, I'm gonna have to work out. I'm actually gonna have to do exercise, bro, because I'm gonna come back 5 times the size, mate.
Love it. Bring on your big portions, America. I'll keep eating them. Number 4, this is something a little bit odd and maybe not something I would like. And I've talked to you guys many times on this channel about my long-term ambitions of wanting to move to America one day and experiencing it properly, like how it is to work and live in America. I would love that one day, right? But then when I consider this point, I get a bit apprehensive and think maybe that's not such a good thing and maybe I would not like this, right? You have so few holidays. I find it absolutely bizarre. I don't understand how you guys can have so few holidays because
right, I've heard of this, but not in too much detail, right? See, you guys know for a living, I do this. Like you're watching me, I do this. So I'm just used to being self-employed, right? Self-employed. But in the UK, if you work, you have, I think, 28 days holiday pay and a certain amount of days, which is like maybe like 12, I think, for sick pay. And you get paid. So if you're ill, you get paid, and people do take this. I think that's how it works. And then you get like 28 days holiday. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but it's around there. I've heard in like America, you don't really take holidays. Like what would happen if you go on a holiday for a week? Do you just not get paid? And another crazy thing what I've heard of as well is apparently in America, if you're pregnant, you don't get paid either. I could be totally wrong about that. It's either that or you get a very, very short amount. I think in the UK, well, I've never been pregnant. You know what I mean? But in the UK, I think you get many, many months. I think you get a good between 4 to 8 months where you will get paid. See, I don't know exactly how it fully works, but I just, you know, I'm giving you guesstimates.
Here's the thing, right? If I came to work in America, I would want to see it. And if I was working and I only had, like 10 days, is it that you guys get a year? You receive about 10 days a year from your work.
Oh, you do get 10 days.
That's not enough to explore America if I'm working there and I want to see things as well. Here in the UK, for example, we get, you know, between 27, 28 days a year. Maybe even 30, 31 if you've got a very, very generous employer. But that's about the range, right? I can't remember what the minimum is, but I think it's 27 a year. Paid holidays you are entitled to from your work. And
yeah, so you could just be like, yo, I want 2 weeks off. You're paying my ass to go here.
Tell you, there are very few people in the UK who miss up the opportunity to take those holidays, because here's the next thing. In America, not only do you have so few holidays from work, you also don't take them. Back in 2013, Business Insider, the publication did a survey and found out that Americans in 2013 had lost 169 million days of holiday that they just didn't take for whatever reason.
Wait. That's not like the case if your work isn't giving you them then. You guys is just, Americans are just workaholics. It's probably why you're the leading country on the planet. You guys are just workaholics. You love your jobs, you love to work.
That was their entitlement. And I just think to myself that this one is a bit odd. I don't understand it. So please let me know in the comments down below about this one. Let me understand it.
Yeah, I want to know actually. Comment down below. Do you take holidays from your work? And if you don't, why? Why not? Do you just enjoy work? You just want to get the job? You know what I mean? Like, I actually want to understand.
Like holidays. I like to work. I love working. But especially if I'm coming to a place like America, I want to see the place. And I want to need holidays for that. So how am I going to do that if I get like 10 days a year? I'm genuinely curious about this one. Number 5 on the list. Another odd thing that we encountered many times in America and in the supermarkets, which was cheese that comes out of a spray can. We obviously have spray cans here in the UK, right?
Yeah.
But genuinely, those spray cans spray things like cream, maybe. You get sprayed cream.
Yeah, I can't imagine spray cheese to be... and I'm coming from the UK. We got a lot of not nice things. That sounds like a UK product, bro. Spray cheese.
Sprayed cheese is something that's very, very unique to America. And I just thought, wow.
You guys like
that? And it goes on everything. I've no idea because I didn't try it. I'm not a massive cheese fan. Maybe this is why I thought this was weird. Because I'm not a huge cheese fan. And I saw this and I was like, no thank you. I never actually tried it. So I don't actually know if this sprayed cheese is good or not. Is it good quality or is it rubbish quality? It sounds like it would be something on the lower end of the quality spectrum. Great. So again, I want to know. Number 6 on the list is something I've discussed many times on my channel. It keeps coming up, but it is something that's important, I think, to discuss. But if you're new on this channel, you've not seen this before, you might not know that this is something that's very uniquely American, and that is the tipping culture, right? When you go to a restaurant, a bar, anything like that, it's pretty much mandatory to tip in America.
Yeah, see, as somebody that watches these videos, I've seen about tipping quite a lot now. So yeah, I know when I go to America, I gotta get my extra cash out and be tipping all the service. I think it's like between it's around 20%, right?
And if you don't, you'll get very harshly
judged
beaten up by anybody you're with, the people that work there and all that kind of stuff. And I get it, you know, I understand in America when you're there, you have to partake, you have to tip. And it's a good thing to do, 10, 20%. And I hear if you tip 10%, that's a very bad thing. Like, that's the minimum you would do, and that's only if you had very bad service, but 20 is more like it. This is something that's very unusual for us in the UK in particular.
Yo, there must be situations though where like you've had problems with the server and you just like, you didn't get on. Let's say you had an argument. Surely you don't tip them, right? Do you still tip them? Let's say you've got an argument with a server. See, that might sound crazy to you in America because I heard the service is really good in America. But in the UK, it happens a lot. In the UK, it happens a lot, bro. So let's say you do get in an argument with a server. Would you still tip?
In the rest of Europe, because we don't have a tipping culture. Now, let me make this abundantly clear. When we go to a restaurant, if we get a good service and the person is nice to us, or just nice and friendly in general, they have brought us food and they're really seem like a good person, they've done a good job, we'll tip them, right? It's kind of normal. More so nowadays, it's getting more common to tip, but it's done based on performance. Like, if we had bad service, if somebody was rude to us, I think most people here would be inclined not to tip. We don't have the same culture, definitely. I know.
Oh, no. Averagely, most people just don't tip in the UK. It's only when you get really good service. When you get that really good service, you're like, oh, I actually like that person. I really like that person. Let's tip. But I've been out for meals, around people that's got meals, and I have tipped a few times. But I'd probably say out of all the times I've been out, it's been maybe I've tipped 1% of all outings, and even the people around me. So it's not a lot.
For you guys, it's different because here our waiters and bar people get like a proper salary, right? That is their main salary, and any tips they get is kind of like an extra. And I know this because I worked at a bar before many years ago. When I was a teenager, I worked at a bar, and I'll never forget one night the nightclub owner came in to his own bar and tipped me, the guy that served him, £50, and that was like I celebrated after that. I was like the best night ever. But let me tell you, it's just not common, especially if you just give like an average or below average service, you're not going to get tipped. Whereas in America, everyone gets tipped. I just find this is such a unique cultural quirk. And like I said, it's because in America, a lot of bar people, a lot of waiting staff, they don't necessarily get a minimum wage. Their wages are in tips. And apparently they can make very, very good money on tips alone, you know? Some waitresses and waiters in places like New York City can get 100 grand a year just on tips. That is a damn sight more money than they would get on a salary in the UK.
America. Jobs that get loads of tips. Bro, I'm moving there. I'm getting 100 grand a year on tips.
Okay, for example, but it's just different ways to look at it, and it's interesting. Number 7, your greeting of how are you? This is something that we do get confused of as Britons, because when somebody asks us a question like that, we tend to get really deep and personal. We think, oh, the person really wants to know about my life.
Wait,
and then we'll get deep and we'll be like, all right, okay, yeah, tell them a life story. We'll give them a 3-4 minute spiel of all the things that are good and bad in our lives, because the person asked, it's like they've got an interest in our personal life, so we'll reply properly. That's what happens generally when Americans ask us, how are you? You know, give a kind of full response, but...
Oh, wait, I must be rude as hell. Nah, I don't know where he lives, but I've lived in like 3 different cities, maybe 4 different cities in the UK, right? And whenever someone asks me how are you, this is how it goes. I would say, you're right? Yeah, you're right? Yeah. That's it. Bro, if I ask someone how are you and they tell me their life story, bro, I'm doing the Homer Simpson meme and I'm going back into the bush. I'm going back into the hedge, dude. I'm disappearing. Bro, what? Nobody actually answers how you would do they? Unless I'm just rude, bro.
Actually, it's just a bit of a weird cultural thing. We tend not to say that in the UK. We'll tend to give it a response to people about this that doesn't really require a great answer, or maybe even answers before the person's even opening their mouth, like, hope you had a good weekend. And then the person will say yes or no. We're a bit funny about small talk in the UK, admittedly. We've got our own cultural quirk about that. But definitely, how are you? Phrase in America, but how are you as a greeting is weird for us because we think it's a big answer when really all you're doing is asking us if everything's okay. And it just requires a yes or no answer.
Well, I never use it. Like, if he's on about like the exact words, how are you? I never use the words how you. I just go, you're right. That's the same though. That means the same.
You want to hear, yes, everything's good. How are you? In return, that's all you want, right? Say that to a Brit, and you're in for 3 to 5 minutes of a life story. Number 8 on the list.
Yo, I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I've never asked somebody how are they and been in a convo for 5 minutes, bro. I ain't got the time for that. I don't know about that one. Maybe it's a different way he's living.
This is something that I find really interesting, okay? College sports. You guys, if you've been watching my channel a while, you'll know about the times I went to American football. Watch American football. I went to the stadium in New York to watch the Giants play the Detroit Frogs. No, the Detroit Lions. I best not get that wrong again. And then also here in Wembley, we went to watch an American football game. NFL, it was the North Carolina, Charlotte. I can't remember the names of the teams. You guys have got really interesting names for football teams. Anyway, I watched a couple of NFL games and I really enjoyed them and I want to get more involved, right? Cool. And a lot of you guys have wrote in my comments of those videos in particular, and by the way, I'll put a link to those videos up above if you go and check them out. You might find them interesting, but a lot of people commented, you need to come, if you're interested in American football, you need to come to a college game because it's much more intense, a lot more supporters, bigger crowds, bigger stadiums, and bigger just general everything.
Yo, you know what? That would be a crazy culture shock for you guys coming to the UK. Like, if you guys came to the UK and you was like, yo, let's go to a college game. Bro, the UK person would be like, huh? First of all, nobody goes, right? The only people that go to a college game in the UK are the teams. Not even the family's going, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Not even the family's going, bro. Not even the friends. It would just be the teams and the coaches. You might get the odd parent, but yo, it's not big at all.
Bigger tailgating, and it's all bigger at college games. I find that fascinating because your college teams are apparently really something quite significant and important. Here in the UK, they're absolutely not. We have no clue or idea about what any of our university or lower league college teams are up to.
So true.
I wouldn't even know the names of half of them. But it's a big deal for you guys. This is something that's really, really unique and interesting to America, I think, right? You guys take your college sports very seriously.
That's
and of course,
cool,
not
I
just
like that.
American football, it's also basketball, baseball, a lot of different sports. And a lot of these athletes get great scholarships to go into these sports as to represent the college, right? It's just a really fascinating, unique culture, and I will when I come back.
We see it a lot on TVs and movies, and every time I do see it, I'm like, yeah, that's sick.
Back to America, guys. Once this virus is over, next year or whenever, I'll come to some college sports. I want to see an American football game college style. How about that? Number 9, this is something that could not be more American. Pumpkins in everything. Pumpkin pie. That's such an American thing. You could not get more American as a food, and I've never ever had it in my life because I'm not really
Wait, you guys got pumpkins even like burgers? Some of you going to answer, yeah, aren't you? You know what? I've never actually tried pumpkin. I'm sorry, but we don't have much pumpkin in the UK. Like pumpkin flavored things. I've never actually tried it.
Fan of pumpkin. I'm not sure if I should be saying this on this channel. It might start a bit of a revolt. You might get angry. I don't know how closely attached you guys are to pumpkins, but I'm presuming quite a lot. It's not my favorite food. Right, but you guys have like pumpkin pie. I want to try it. Do a reaction video on this channel. How about that? So guys, tell me where to get a good pumpkin pie and I'll come and I'll eat it and I'll try and I'll give you my verdict. I'll give it a fair shot, right? But it's not just that. You guys put pumpkin in everything. There are pumpkin carrot cakes, for goodness sake. Pumpkin coffee cakes, pumpkin cookies, pumpkin soup, pumpkin rolls, hand rolls, pumpkin quiche. And then obviously companies like Starbucks last year got in on the action around about Halloween time with the pumpkin spiced lattes.
Oh, I've heard of that.
A lot of those things.
We actually might have that in the UK, unless I've just heard on it in an American video. I'm not too sure, but that does ring a bell.
Have actually made it across the pond to this side. We have started to see pumpkin popping up and everything. Pumpkin soup's quite popular. The pumpkin spice latte thing, but it's really an American thing. And I found this a fascinating story. It's obviously not something that's native to Europe, right? So people, the colonialists, when they went to the Americas at first, they had no idea what these things are. Realized they could eat them, but they weren't very popular. When the colonialists ran out of yeast, right, to make their beer, they ran out of yeast, so they decided to use fermented pumpkins as a bit of a substitute. I bet that beer tasted interesting. I would actually like to try it. If anybody does pumpkin yeast beer, let me know. But obviously that...
Hey, I want to know, bro. This is interesting. What was as in America, what was the last pumpkin thing you've eaten? Or you ate, right? Let me know. I want to know, because I know some of you guys are going to say some interesting things.
It has went on through the generations.
Let's
Maybe
pumpkin.
the first colonialists didn't particularly like it. But nowadays, it's obviously very popular across America. Pumpkin, everything. It's a national staple. It's something from your land, tradition, Halloween, and all that kind of stuff. I want to know more. I want to try it. I will give everything a shot. I think we just don't do it good here. That's the problem. The pumpkin that we have here is not cooked in the right way.
I've never tried it.
I've never liked it. So maybe I will change my mind when I come to America. I hope. Number 10, the final point is controversial and could get me a visa ban.
I like this.
This is something that's always confused me because I've spent my career working for companies that usually are American, but I work in obviously the UK headquarters or whatever. In America, you guys write the date for everything the wrong way round, and I just do not.
Oh no! Oh, he said the wrong way. He didn't say a different way. He said he wants a YouTube comment war. Oh, I bet his comments are crazy. Yeah, you guys write the wrong way. Take that.
Not understand this point, and I get so confused, guys, when I'm talking to an American colleague and I have to write the date in my American format and then switch back to the UK format. I get so confused. I don't understand why this is and why it's different and how come.
To be fair, listen, to be fair though, right? It would make sense writing it from smallest to largest or even largest to smallest. How comes America just mixes it? Is it just because you can't? You go from month, day, year. It would be, you know what I mean? It kind of makes sense. Day, month, year, or year, month, day. Month, day, year. Why do you guys do that, huh? Why do you guys write the wrong way around?
I've looked online for a bit of an answer for this, and nobody else seems to get it either. Like, there doesn't seem to be any definitive reason as to why you guys put the date in the other format. In the UK, just because they can. Month, year. It seems to make sense to me. I mean, it's quite logical. And that is where most places in the world actually...
To be fair, year, month, day. That would be weird, actually. That would be weird. Why would you put the year before? Yeah, actually, I changed my mind. Year, month... I think there is countries that do that, right?
Actually do the same thing. But in America, you decided to go a bit rogue on that, and you do month, day, year. So confused by this. I always get it mixed up, and if I'm writing a date to someone who's American, I get confused. But all that is to say, there are a lot of different cultural quirks between America and...
Yo, what a really good video, though. I enjoyed that a lot. Hopefully you guys enjoyed as well. Let me know which one of these points struck you the most. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more content. I'm live every single day on twitch.tv/L3WG. If you guys want to check me out there, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.